Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Clinical Trials Project Management Series provided by the Case Western Reserve Clinical Translational Science Collaborative. In previous modules, you've learned what project management is and how it can benefit your team. You've learned how to use project management practices and tools during all phases of your study. In this module, we'll introduce you to the CTSC and the research resources available through the CTSC to support your studies, especially during the initiation, assessment, and planning phases. At the completion of this module, you will have a better understanding of what the CTSA is and how the Cleveland CTSC is incorporated into it, how it is funded, and how those funds are targeted to make local resources available to you and how to access those resources, both locally and nationally. Let's begin with what is the CTSA? The focus of the National Center for Advancing Translation Sciences, also known as NCATS, is just that, to advance the science of translation, which is the process of turning observations into interventions to improve health. NCATS supports more than 30 programs and initiatives in research and education, providing funding and resources to translational scientists. One of those initiatives under research innovation is the CTSA, the Clinical Translational Science Awards program, designed to strengthen and support the entire spectrum of translational research from scientific discovery to improved patient care. Through the CTSAs, NCATS aims to address common barriers in clinical and translational research that scientists face every day, with the goal of delivering more treatments to more patients more quickly. What are some of the challenges clinical researchers face every day? Do these sound familiar to you? Difficulties in recruiting, mentoring, and retaining a critical mass of qualified clinical and translational investigators, increased research costs and complexity, low patient recruitment and retention in clinical research studies, inflexible study designs, and increased regulatory burdens. Through the more than 50 medical research institution CTSA hubs nationwide, NCATS has created a network to develop innovative solutions to these challenges. Now let's focus on local resources, especially how your institution is a conduit for CTSA resources and how to access them. Cleveland institutions have received program awards since the CTSA's inception in 2012. The Cleveland Hub is known as the CTSC, the Clinical and Translational Science Collaborative, that includes Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine and its affiliated hospital systems, including the Cleveland Clinic, Metro Health, University Hospitals, and the Lewis Stokes Veterans Administration Medical Center. Each institution brings its unique strengths together to support clinical research investigators across this Cleveland consortium. So what are some of the CTSA resources available to investigators? Let's start with the CTSC Research Support Services. Participant recruitment specialists are available at each of the CTSC sites to provide consultations to meet your recruitment goals. Consultation services may include completing the feasibility assessment at your site, an early step in your protocol planning process to determine whether the institution or study team has an adequate patient population or can provide sufficient resource support based on study goals and design. Creating a recruitment plan, which may include helping the study team identify eligible participants, helping to guide the informed consent process, and providing best practices for participant retention. Meeting your recruitment goals is one of the biggest challenges facing investigators. Your PRS can guide you in targeted marketing to engage your participant audience, including how to access your institution's advertising and social media resources, which may include recruitment events. Will you need to stage hospital or community events to reach your target population? Your participant recruitment specialist can help you create marketing materials, coordinate the logistics, and staff the event. Your participant recruitment specialist is experienced in enrolling participants into clinical trials, but you may need additional expertise in how to reach special populations. The PRS can help you identify special populations to include in your recruitment plan and how to access them. What are special populations? NCATS defines special population attributes as either diverse or diversity, includes but is not limited to race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, background, gender, and mental or physical ability. Health equity, ensuring that all persons have the opportunity to achieve their best health. One of the goals of the CTSA program is to create, provide, and disseminate innovative research programs and partnerships across institutions and communities to address health disparities and deliver the benefits of translational science to all. Used in the context of community engagement, research and outreach to underserved populations to decrease health inequities, such as minority, rural, or communities with disparate health outcomes. Underrepresented in the context of the workforce, being represented in numbers that are disproportionately low. Underrepresentation is tied to national representation ratios, not institutional demographic data. Underserved, used in the context of health disparities related to population-based health. A population is defined by the Minority Health and Health Disparities Research and Education Act of 2000 as a health disparity or underserved population if there is a significant disparity in the overall rate of disease incidence, prevalence, morbidity, mortality, or survival rates in the population as compared to the health status of the general population. Your institution also has special population point persons. These are faculty who have expertise in treating or engaging with the diverse populations listed here. Point persons can provide expertise to you and your study team with best practices for cultural competency and concordance. The next resource available is your site's clinical research unit. Cleveland Clinic, Metro Health, and university hospitals each have clinical research units to build capacity, create opportunity, and facilitate a supportive environment for clinical and translational research at the academic medical center and in the community. These units are dedicated research infrastructure that facilitate the timely and responsible completion of human studies. All investigators at each institution have access to experienced, highly trained clinical research nursing, lab, and bionutrition personnel, and dedicated, quality-driven clinical research facilities in controlled environments, as well as bioinformatics professionals supporting REDCap. The facilities support inpatient and outpatient research visits for research volunteers across the life spectrum with exam and procedure rooms, infusion of phase 1 through 3 investigational drugs, sample processing laboratories for simple or complex processing, storage, and shipment of samples, specialized research equipment and procedures, including research-dedicated DEXA, sphygmocore, bronchoscopy, and biopsies. Bionutrition state-of-the-art resources with gold standard methodologies for services, including dietary counseling, a metabolic kitchen for regular to nutrient-controlled metabolic diets, 24-hour dietary recalls using state-of-the-practice NDSR software, anthropometrics and DEXA whole body composition and densitometry studies in research subjects across the life cycle, including infants. Each site uses their project managers at different focus points in the research study implementation process, whether project managing the overall study implementation or managing a facet of study logistics, such as implementing protocols in the clinical research unit. You can combine resources in our multi-site consortium to your advantage, using CTSC Resources to start up your study at one or more sites that have a feasible target population. Reach out to your clinical research unit to start the process and coordinate the logistics at each institution. More sites equals faster potential enrollment and faster study completion. The CWRU CTSC website provides other resources supporting multi-site research startup, including clinical trials finders at each of the sites, helping you identify clinical trials in the Cleveland area that might fit your patients, especially those with rare diseases. Take some time to review the information available to you in the Clinical Studies Resources tab. We know the study startup process is not an easy one, and add in one or more other institutions. The CWRU CTSC website Study Startup Toolkit will help you navigate local multi-site implementation. It provides resources to guide you, including recommendations for what documents to be working on and general guidance for the study startup roadmap, including research contacts and a suggested stepwise approach to implementation. The CWRU CTSC provides other resources supporting research on its website. Under Education and Training, learn more about the TL1 and KL2 training programs to enhance the training of PhDs and MDs in the discipline of clinical and translational science. Of particular interest on the website may be the CTSC Pilot Grant Program. This program is a peer-reviewed pilot funding program designed to promote new translational research, new research collaborations, and novel research ideas. This funding is designed to help research teams interact across institutions, schools, and disciplines to generate novel ideas and data or translational research projects. Strong candidates for funding are projects that are multidisciplinary, collaborative, and/or interinstitutional in the local clinical and translation research enterprise. Encourage the development or use of emerging methodologies and technologies that may affect future research. Allow acquisition of proof of principle data to proceed with full-scale investigations. Encourage participation from clinical and translational science trainees, are likely to lead to external funding opportunities, and show potential to positively affect clinical and translational research, advancing the CTSC's mission and vision. In addition to local CTSC resources, there are a number of national resources that support each facet of the CTSC's mission and vision, resources that are built on a foundation of collaboration. ClinicalTrials.gov is a database of privately and publicly funded clinical studies conducted worldwide. Investigators may use this resource to stay up to date on developments in their field, find collaborators, and identify unmet needs. Certain clinical trials of drug, biologic, and device products are required to be registered on clinicaltrials.gov. Research Match is a confidential, free, and secure registry developed to involve prospective and current research participants in the mission of helping ensure that today's studies make a difference for everyone's health tomorrow. Research Match brings people who are searching for research studies and clinical trials to researchers who are seeking volunteers. Along with CTSC recruitment resources, Research Match is another way to ensure that your study meets enrollment requirements for generalizability of results. The Association for Clinical and Translational Science, or ACTS, is available to you under the CWRU institutional membership. ACTS members have access to sponsored events and professional development opportunities, including educational offerings and career opportunities. CWRU is a member of the Clinical Research Forum. The Clinical Research Forum provides a space for discussion about unique and complex challenges in clinical research among senior clinical research leadership of leading academic health and science systems. CWRU may include senior staff under their all-inclusive membership that provides discounted membership registration to forum events, a monthly federal policy and funding informational conference call, and opportunities to participate on task forces and committees. Another resource is the Trial Innovation Network, also known as the TIN. The Trial Innovation Network is an NCATS collaborative that seeks to address critical roadblocks in clinical trials and accelerate translation of novel research into clinical practice. The Trial Innovation Network is a platform used by the CTSA hubs to address common issue areas, including training and cultivating the translational science workforce, engaging patients and communities, promoting integration of special and underserved populations, innovative methods and processes, and advancing the use of informatics. In the events section, you'll find almost 200 pre-recorded presentations that will educate you on best practices in a spectrum of research areas. To learn more about CTSC services, contact either your site's clinical research unit or reach out to the CWRU concierge. To submit a request for CWRU, CTSC, or hospital-based services, submit a request using the Spark request system. Let's review the key takeaways for this module. The CTSC provides access to both local and national resources to support clinical and translational research, provides funding opportunities to support and expand the research capabilities of investigators and their teams, facilitates conducting multi-site trials without leaving Cleveland, and can contribute to the growth and development of your career. For more information about these and other CTSC, CTSA resources, education and training programs, visit www.case.edu/medicine/CTSC. This module concludes our 4-part series on clinical trials project management. Thank you for joining us.